Hello, my lovely viewers. Welcome again to another episode of Mathematics and I. It is your presenter, Jeff Lino, and today we have a question on the board, which says, make Q the subject of the formula in the equation mn over a squared minus pq over b squared equal to 1. Now, we shall be solving this problem, and we shall see how we can make Q stand alone. Because when you are told to make Q the subject of the formula, it means they want you to make Q to stand alone. Now, how do we go about this? Now, the first thing we are going to do is this. We have mn over a squared minus pq over b squared equal to 1. Now, what I will do is this. I will base 1 over 1, and then I will look for the LCM of the whole fractions. Now, the LCM of a squared, b squared, and 1 will also give us a squared, b squared. Now, when you get your LCM, the next thing you do is this. Divide the LCM by each of the denominators. Now, the first denominator I have here is a squared. So, if a squared should cancel out a squared, I will have b squared left. Now, b squared multiplies the numerator, which is mn. Now, b squared times mn gives us b squared mn, okay, minus. Now, if b squared should cancel b squared, I have a squared. Now, a squared times pq will give us a squared pq. Now, equal to. Now, I have 1 here as my denominator. If 1 should cancel a squared b squared, I also get a squared b squared. So, if a squared b squared multiply 1, I also get a squared and b squared. Now, don't forget, what we are told to make the subject is q. So, what we are going to do is this now. B squared mn is not carrying q. There's no q in it. So, b squared mn goes to the right hand side because a squared b squared also is not carrying q. So, if b squared mn crosses, we are going to have that here minus a squared pq, okay, equal to, now I have a squared b squared. Now, if b squared mn crosses, it becomes minus b squared mn. Okay, now don't forget that what we are working with is we want to make q the subject of the formula, or q the subject in the what? In the equation. Now, what we are going to do is this now. To make q the subject of the formula, we have to remove minus a squared p. So that's q will stand alone. And for us to be able to remove minus a squared p, we have to divide both sides. So here becomes over minus a squared p, again all over minus a squared p. Now, minus cancel out minus, a squared cancel out a squared, and p cancel out p. So it means, what do we have left? We have q is equal to, okay? But if you take a look at what we have here, a squared b squared minus b squared mn have something in common. And what do they have in common? They have b squared in common. So what do? We will factorize b squared out. And so if we factorize b squared, which is what they have in common, then we will open the bracket. Now, if b squared should cancel out b squared, I will have a squared left. Okay, minus, if b squared now should cancel b squared, I will have mn left. Okay, are you with me? Now, all over. Now, remember what I have down is minus a squared p. But don't forget that it is not what? It doesn't make sense if we leave our denominator with a minus sign. So what do? We take the minus sign to the numerator, and here becomes q is equal to minus b squared into the bracket of a squared minus mn. So this becomes the answer to this what? Question. All over a squared p. So this is the answer to the question if we should make q the subject in the formula. Or in case if you did not see an answer like this, you can also see the answer in this format as q is equal to b squared into the brackets of mn minus a squared all over a squared p. Now, what did I do? It is very simple. I use the minus sign to multiply the signs inside the bracket. Now, if minus should multiply the positive sign here, Minus times plus gives us minus a squared. That's a minus a squared. And minus times minus gives us a positive mn, and that's a positive what? Mn. So in case of an examination condition, if you don't see an option like this, it means you will see an option like this. So class, we have come to the end of today's class. I hope you have learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to share our video. Till we meet again in our next class. Thank you for watching.